There was a specific day in my life when I just stopped. I stopped picking up the phone to explain myself. I stopped sending long messages trying to make people understand. I stopped apologizing for decisions that were genuinely right for me.
And do you know what happened after that?
My life got quieter. And somehow, that quiet felt like the first real breath I had taken in years.
Most of us spend so much energy trying to make other people understand our choices, our silence, our boundaries, our dreams.
And nobody ever tells you that you don't have to, that you never had to.
Welcome to Real Life English, the podcast. I'm Max.
And I'm Emma. And today's episode is The Day I Stopped Explaining Myself to Everyone. Today you are going to get 3 things. First, why we feel this desperate need to explain ourselves to people. Second, what actually happens when you stop. And third, the English words and expressions to talk about boundaries, self-respect, and emotional freedom.
This episode is for B1 and B2 learners, but honestly, if this title made you feel something, this episode is for you.
And today's comment homework, tell us, is there someone in your life you keep explaining yourself to, even though they never really listen? You don't have to say who. Just tell us, yes or no. We read every comment. Max, I want to go back to that day I was talking about at the beginning.
I was hoping you would. Tell me what actually happened.
So I had made a decision about my career, a big one, and it wasn't what people around me expected.
And let me guess, everyone had an opinion about it.
Everyone. My family, my old friends, people I hadn't spoken to in months, suddenly had very strong feelings about my life.
It's funny how that works. People go quiet until you do something unexpected.
And I found myself writing these long, exhausting messages, explaining my reasoning, justifying every single part of my decision.
Like you were on trial for living your own life.
Exactly like that. And the word for that feeling is defensive. Defensive means you are constantly trying to protect yourself from criticism, even when nobody has actually attacked you yet.
And being defensive is exhausting because you're always one step behind. Always reacting to imaginary judgment.
And one evening I was writing yet another long message to yet another person, and I just stopped mid-sentence. And one evening I was writing yet another long message to yet another person, and I just stopped mid-sentence.
What stopped you?
I read what I had written and I thought, why am I doing this? This person has never once changed their opinion because of anything I said.
That is such a powerful realization to have.
Because we explain ourselves with the hope that understanding will follow. But some people are not looking to understand. They are looking to be right.
And no amount of explaining will ever satisfy someone who has already decided what they think about you.
The word for that is validation. Validation means receiving approval or confirmation from someone else that you are good, right, or worthy.
And so many of us are seeking validation. Seeking means actively looking and searching for something from people who are simply not able to give it.
From people who never gave it. Not even once.
So what happened after you stopped writing that message?
I deleted it. I put my phone down. And I sat with the discomfort of not explaining myself for the very first time.
And how did that feel?
Terrifying at first, and then strangely peaceful. So, what do most people get wrong about this whole thing? That's what I want to talk about next.
Okay. Here is what I think most people completely misunderstand about stopping the explaining.
Tell me.
They think it means you stop caring. Like, I don't explain myself anymore because I don't care what anyone thinks.
But that's not it at all, is it?
Not even close. You can care deeply about someone and still not owe them an explanation for every decision you make.
Those two things can exist at the same time.
Stopping the explaining is not indifference. Indifference means not caring at all, being completely emotionally uninvolved.
Go ahead.
I think there are situations where explaining yourself is genuinely the right thing to do. In a close relationship, in a professional situation, sometimes clarity is an act of respect.
That's completely true. And I think the difference is this. Are you explaining to connect, or are you explaining to seek approval?
Explaining to connect is healthy. Explaining to seek approval is draining. Draining means something that slowly takes away your energy and leaves you feeling empty.
And most of the explaining we do falls into the second category.
We explain to people who have already judged us. We explain to people who will never change their mind. We explain because we were taught that we need permission to live our own life.
And here's the thing that genuinely changed something in me. Nobody who truly respects you will ever make you feel like you need to justify yourself. Justify means to give reasons that prove something is acceptable or correct.
Read that again, slowly.
Nobody who truly respects you will ever make you feel like you need to justify yourself.
The people who constantly demand explanations, they are not asking because they care about you.
They are asking because they want control. Control here means the power to influence or decide what another person does or thinks.
And the moment you stop explaining, you take that control back.
Quietly, peacefully, without a single word. This topic, explaining yourself, seeking approval, it looks and feels different depending on where you grew up.
In many cultures around the world, explaining yourself to family and community is not just expected. It is required.
Decisions about your career, your relationships, your lifestyle, these are seen as belonging to the whole family, not just to you.
And that creates a very specific kind of pressure that people in more individualistic cultures don't always understand.
If you're listening from South Asia, the Middle East, parts of Africa or Latin America, you might feel this deeply.
The idea of simply not explaining yourself might feel not just difficult, but almost impossible, even disrespectful.
And I want to be honest about that. We're not saying your culture is wrong. Culture and family connection are genuinely beautiful things.
But there is a difference between communication. Communication means sharing your thoughts and feelings openly with someone and constantly defending your right to exist as yourself.
You can love your family deeply and still have an inner life that belongs only to you.
You can respect your culture and still make choices that are true to who you are.
And finding that balance, that is the real work of growing up, no matter where you come from.
Wherever you are listening from, your peace matters. Your inner quiet matters. All right, here is your practical framework for today. We're calling it the 3 responses method.
Because sometimes you genuinely need to respond to someone, and you want to do it in English, clearly and calmly.
Response 1. When someone questions your decision and you don't want to argue. Say this: I understand this isn't what you expected, and I've thought about it carefully. That's it. Nothing more needed.
You're not defending. You're not attacking. You're simply closing the door gently.
Response 2. When someone keeps pushing for more explanation. Say this: I hear you, but I'm comfortable with my decision. 5 words at the end. I am comfortable with my decision.
Comfortable is a powerful word here. It signals that this conversation is finished without being rude.
Response 3. When someone makes you feel guilty for your choices. Say this: I'm not looking for permission. I'm sharing this with you because I care about you.
Let's hear some examples. Imagine someone called Layla. Her family questions why she is moving to a new city for work. She says, I understand this isn't what you expected, and I've thought about it carefully. She doesn't add anything. She lets the silence sit.
Or imagine someone called James. A friend keeps asking why he ended a relationship. He says, I hear you, but I'm comfortable with my decision. And then he changes the subject.
Or maybe you. Someone in your life right now is waiting for an explanation you don't owe them. Practice one of these 3 responses tonight. Just say it out loud, alone, to yourself first.
Because the mouth needs to practice what the heart already knows.
Word tour time. Let's go through today's vocabulary. Max, start us off.
First, defensive. Constantly trying to protect yourself from criticism even before anyone has attacked you. Example 1. She got very defensive when I asked a simple question. I think she was already expecting judgment. Example 2. Being defensive all the time is exhausting because you're always preparing for a fight that might never come. Did you catch that one earlier?
Next, validation. Approval or confirmation from someone else that you are good, right, or worthy. Example 1. He kept seeking validation from people who had never once supported him. Example 2. The most freeing moment in my life was when I stopped needing external validation. Did you hear that one?
Seeking. Actively looking and searching for something with intention. Example 1. She spent years seeking approval from her family before realizing she already had everything she needed. Example 2. Stop seeking permission from people who are not living your life. Did you catch that?
Indifference. A complete lack of care or emotional involvement, not caring at all. Example 1. There is a big difference between inner peace and indifference. One is strength, the other is emptiness. Example 2. He mistook her silence for indifference, but she was simply done explaining herself. Did you hear that one?
Draining. Something that slowly takes away your energy and leaves you feeling completely empty. Example 1. Explaining yourself to someone who never listens is one of the most draining things you can do. Example 2. That relationship became so draining that she had nothing left for herself. Did you catch that?
Justify. To give reasons that prove a decision or action is acceptable or correct. Example 1. You don't need to justify your boundaries to anyone who doesn't respect them. Example 2. He kept trying to justify his choice, but nobody in the room was actually listening. Did you hear that one?
Control. The power to influence or decide what another person does or feels. Example 1. When you stop explaining yourself, you quietly take back control of your own narrative. Example 2. Some people ask for explanations not because they care, but because it gives them a sense of control. Did you catch that?
Communication. Sharing your thoughts and feelings openly and honestly with someone. Example 1. Healthy communication means both people feel heard, not just one person constantly defending themselves. Example 2. There is a big difference between communication and seeking approval. Did you hear that one?
Boundaries. The limits you set to protect your emotional, mental, or physical well-being. Example 1. Setting a boundary doesn't mean you don't love someone. It means you love yourself, too. Example 2. She finally set a clear boundary, and for the first time in years, she felt free. Did you catch that?
And our last word, narrative. The story you tell about yourself and your life, to yourself and to others. Example 1, the moment you stop over-explaining, you take back ownership of your own narrative. Example 2, other people will always try to write your narrative for you, if you let them. Did you catch that one?
We are at the end. And I want to say something that I genuinely mean.
Go ahead.
You are not difficult. You are not selfish. You are not cold for wanting a little peace.
You are just someone who is learning, maybe for the very first time, that your choices belong to you.
That your silence is not an apology. That your peace is not a punishment for anyone.
The day you stop explaining yourself to everyone is not the day you stop caring.
It is the day you start caring about the right person. Yourself.
And that day can be today. Right now, after this episode ends.
Don't forget your comment homework. Is there someone in your life you keep explaining yourself to, even though they never really listen? Just tell us yes or no.
And if this episode touched something real in you, please share it with one person who needs to hear it today.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm Max.
And I'm Emma. You don't owe anyone your peace. Remember that. And we will see you in the very next episode.
Bye for now.
Bye!